What's up, guys? I'll be live over on Twitch tonight, grabbing some gameplays that you'll likely be seeing here in the upcoming videos. But if you want to come hang out, chat, and maybe chill, the link's in the description below. Anyways, though, back to the regular content. With Modern Warfare Season 4 launching presumably this upcoming week, now backed with game file evidence, though not still publicly announced, we know a lot of stuff coming up. Like we said yesterday, the Galil, the Vector, otherwise known as the Fennec, Captain Price, Gaz later down the line, likely as a paid operator, and as well then Scrapyard. That's our known items of interest, but naturally that's not all we're going to be seeing. We'll of course have things such as more maps coming throughout the season and other items like new modes and even some new grinds, including calling cards and maybe even a new mastery camo. But today I want to run down those items that we can likely see officially revealed to us in the next few days' time, but give you that heads up on the surprise content, if you will, of Season 4. That said, as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you hoping for a live event of any kind? And I know that I personally am, but I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. And also, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare and Warzone on a daily basis, especially as we run into Season 4 here in the next coming days. But anyways, let's get into it. To preface this, I want to say that a lot of this information comes from data miners across the community, including those of the MW2 Ghost as well as Modern Warzone. So if you guys want to check them out, their links will be down there in the description below. I want to start out with some stuff that we actually know quite a bit about, that firstly being the calling cards or mastery calling cards that have yet to be announced, but by all indications seem to be coming with the next update, i.e. Season 4's update. For this, we of course have those calling cards for each designated weapon of gold, platinum, Damascus, and obsidian. These have been in the game files for quite a bit now and are actually viewable on the COD Tracker website, and to me I think they look pretty dang awesome. But what's interesting about these is that these don't look to be your standard awards for, say, just completing a weapon's camo, as you may consider. So it's not a matter of if you have the gold on, say, the MP7, you automatically get that gold MP7 calling card. That's not how this is going to work. This is due in part to the calling cards being, one, independent of those weapon camo challenges, but also likely as a result of the fundamental choice to not make them retroactive, which means that your status of those said weapons that you'll be using for the past 7 months, those amount of kills, that time played with that, won't affect your earn rate of this in the present. Once they're released, that's the starting point for everybody, regardless of the time played or weapon usage up until this point. Additionally, these may look to be separate from absolutely anything that we could consider, having a wide range on the spectrum of things that players will need to do to unlock these. In the game files, there's actually a ton of these already visible, but we end up seeing that they will revolve around things like getting X amount of headshot kills, getting total kills, destroying vehicles or kill streaks, getting double kills X amount of times, getting X amount of kills without dying X amount of times, getting kills while using the scout combat optic, getting X amount of kills while prone, getting kills in smoke, getting X amount of kills via hip fire, getting X amount of aim down sight kills with the no stock attachment option, getting X amount of kills while aiming down sights with a laser attachment, getting X amount of kills while behind the enemy, and so on and so forth. There additionally seems to be some designations also for master challenges and also week 1 challenges, which admittedly kind of confuses me a bit since we already have the categorizations of seasonal challenges of weeks 1 through 8, where each challenge completed in either MP or Warzone offers varying levels of XP yield. So whether or not that's pertaining to those kind of challenges, we'll have to wait and see, which, if I'm being honest, breaking away from just talking about the surprise content and the calling cards, this features one that I'm admittedly pretty disappointed in the execution of it. There's all these challenges, 8 weeks total with a bunch of challenges each week, but nothing in return outside of just XP. This is the exact same formula that draws a ton of people to the challenge hunting in Fortnite, but the only difference is in Fortnite, when you complete those 7 of 10 weeks or so, you get an exclusive skin for that. But in this game, there's absolutely nothing, and that's kind of a bummer to me and a huge missed opportunity, if you ask me, to bring players over into the fold of hunting challenges. But I digress. With the calling cards pointing towards weekly challenges and mastery challenges, I'm not entirely sure how that will work out. Maybe we see one set being used where players can unlock these automatically, but others they may have to wait for in their designated week, or perhaps you unlock a challenge each week, complete that, and then after that the mastery challenge is unlocked. But we'll have to wait and see how the calling cards work, but it's definitely not going to be as simple as, hey, if you have this camo, here's a calling card for it, which I don't personally mind. I think it's kind of cool to keep players grinding this far into the game, but that's just me. Anyways, that's going to be a grind, but is it the only grind that we'll see within Season 4? Now, this one is a little bit lesser confirmed here and may actually just refer back to the calling cards, but it's something that caught my eye, and seemingly the way that it was worded and in the context that it was worded made me think, well, maybe that's actually pointing to something else. Twitter user Master Trapper ended up asking Joe Seacott, co-design director of multiplayer at Infinity Ward, "I have Damascus, I have gotten Obsidian for every weapon in the game, what do I do now?" To which Joe replied, "Sorry Barry, we have more in the next update for you when the time is right." Now this tweet was made right before they ended up announcing that they were going to delay Season 4, so that when the time is right thing comes down to probably the context of that, but the next update being Season 4's update, and maybe that means that when talking about Damascus, when talking about Obsidian, there might be something else on the horizon in terms of camos, which I would be all for. I'm all for grinding out new camos and all. Obsidian was cool, but again, it really wasn't something that hit the mark for every player. And also, when you completed that, you didn't get any other major secret camo like a Damascus, but for completing Obsidian. I know that my friend Hammy ended up completing every weapon very shortly after the Obsidian update, just grinding nonstop to see that, and was a little disappointed to learn that there was nothing after, but maybe that's not the only thing we see here in Season 4. Modes within Season 4 is also something that we won't really know about until the actual roadmap and also the launch of Season 4, but for right now, we actually do have a decent indication as to some of the stuff that is going to be coming. In the game files, like we've talked about beforehand, we saw game modes of Infinite Gulag, Realism BR, One Shot, High Action, and Inflation, some of those dealing with the different amount of money spawns and earn rates on those items, some things dealing with an Infinite Gulag per se, where players are just automatically respawned up until a certain point. Realism BR having minimal HUD, One Shot either being a literal one shot is a kill, or maybe it's just the bolt action variation of this. But the one thing that's new here in the game files that we haven't talked about, and one that caught my mind as a cool surprise that may be coming within Season 4, is that of what was a string of code and an image alongside BR_specialist. Battle Royale _ specialist. Now, this was found in the game files, in which the image showcases the specialist patch, but also has a sort of swap icon between traditional kill streaks and what looks to be perks. Now, in these perks, we end up seeing that one is shrapnel. That's a no-brainer. That's one that we already know what that is. But there's two brand new ones here. One that is a spider, similar to Black Ops 3's Widow's Wine perk icon, and then there's one that looks like a sledgehammer and a crowbar. The spider perk, I have absolutely no idea what that would be, but the sledgehammer, I immediately think of an anvil, which is used in blacksmithing and also as a way of repairing items. Perhaps maybe something of a perk that allows you to speed up the repair of armor, or rather adding armor onto your person faster. I think that'd be really interesting to see how that works, but this also could be something that comes in line with what Amos Hodge has mentioned in the past, where we'll see more items for Warzone in particular as time progresses, and things specific just to Warzone. So a perk could be something that we end up seeing happening. But when I come back to this, the very premise of Specialist would be interesting. How that would work, but kill streaks wouldn't, because you can't earn kill streaks for going on a 5 kill streak within Warzone. You can't earn a gunship for 12 kills or an advanced UAV for 12 kills. You can't get a Juggernaut for 15 kills, but if you end up earning perks for an X amount of kill designation, that'd be something that would change up the meta drastically, and also could alter engagements drastically. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. That was also recently found in the game files. We talked about recently the maps of Broadcast as well as Gardens, and some sort of oil rig map that's been found in the game files as well, which, while Scrapyard is that lead off and we can see it in the Season 4 text actually in the lettering, Broadcast is also something that was in the files, but also is in Warzone, so that's an easy port over. Gardens, we don't have any insight on, but Oil Rig also is something that could be offshore from Modern Warfare 3, making its return. But these could all easily fit into the air quote surprise that we'll learn about in a couple of days, probably when a roadmap comes out. Right now, it's also rumored that the Rytec AMR, which is going to be a Barrett 50 cal look-alike, is something that is also presumably going to be that mid-season weaponry added in a couple of weeks after launch, maybe the midpoint, maybe a couple of weeks before Season 5, but that's in the game files and is something that looks to be up on deck as one of those surprises for Season 4. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about very briefly, because I'm going to talk about this a little bit further tomorrow, I think, a little bit more in depth and give you the scale of everything. But there looks to be an event, of course, within Warzone, and that's been something we've talked about for quite some time, and at this point, it's kind of like, well, is it ever going to happen? Well, there seems to be much progression made here to this, to which the dam might actually have something going on with it here within Season 4. Maybe a major map alteration coming to Warzone, maybe not, but it is something that the files keep indicating a progressive build to it. And even if you go over and take a look at the dam now as opposed to launch, you'll notice there's definitely some things that stand out to you, including the very noises that the dam itself makes. So we'll have to wait and see how all of that turns out, but that looks to be the surprises coming within Season 4, and of course everything that goes along with it. I'm excited to see what comes here in the next couple of days. Of course, getting all of this confirmed as of coming within this week is one thing that I really do hope happens, but that's some stuff that we have on deck here that I want to run down with you guys. But overall, that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Are you guys looking forward to Season 4 and the surprises it may hold? Maybe not so much, or is there anything in particular you're looking forward to that maybe we didn't mention here in this? Love to get your thoughts and feedback, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, especially Season 4 content, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Crack live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But that's that out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.